every NFL team's non-quarterback MVP. So basically another way of saying X Factor. And I want to talk about this for a second too, because Lions Wire, and this article was written by the great Jeff Risdon, who does really good work. His X Factor, or excuse me, MVP for the Detroit Lions, non-quarterback, Sam Flannel, your guy.
Oh, yes.
Aiden Hutchinson. And the reason why he picked Aiden, and I think it's actually pretty fair, is he writes, if the Lions are to ascend into a division champion and legitimate playoff contender, it will be the result of an improved defense. Hutchinson, who's coming off an impressive rookie campaign, leading first-year players in sacks and also picking off 3 passes. He's the ringleader for the young defensive core that is poised to make a step forward in 2023 after a largely dismal last 2 seasons. If the Detroit D dramatically improves, expect Hutchinson to get the lion's share of the credit. Now, before you go, Sam, non-quarterback MVP of the Lions, yeah, sounds about right. Because the biggest question mark is this defense, and if this defense is a top 10 unit, you'd expect Aiden to have the type of production we expect him to have.
No, 100%.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. And I am so glad that this article picked Aiden Hutchinson as the non-quarterback MVP, because to me, it is as obvious as Jeff Iafrate wearing a black t-shirt and a black hat. It is 100% the right choice. And yes, Lucas, thank you for moving the camera over to him, because it is obvious that is what he is wearing. Aiden Hutchinson is the best player on this defense. He was last year. He should be this year if the defense is going to hit their full potential. I said in a previous show that Aiden Hutchinson is the most likely to make an All-Pro this season. It would be second-team All-Pro. And if he does that, if he were to take that big of a leap, obviously the Detroit Lions would probably have maybe a top 10 defense in the NFL. I don't know if he's necessarily going to go to that, but I have him having double-digit sacks, over 15 tackles for loss, and over 20 quarterback hits. I think that is the stat line that he is going to put up. And in the modern NFL, the most important things that you want to do is be a quarterback and be an effective quarterback, protect the quarterback, and get after the quarterback. And in the modern NFL too, one of the only ways that you can stop an offense that is even competent is to get them way behind the chains by creating sacks. As one of my good friends, my on-air frenemy Neil Rule always says, sacks are the new turnovers. If you can get an offense, if you're playing like the Kansas City Chiefs or the Bengals with Joe Burrow or the Bills with Josh Allen or the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, one of the only ways that you can stop them is by creating 2nd and 18s or 2nd and 20s and having them have to make up all those yards before 4th down. And Aiden Hutchinson, I think he is going to be one of the more effective guys at sacking the quarterback this year. It wouldn't shock me at all if he finishes top 10 in sacks. And if that all happens, if Aiden Hutchinson reaches his potential, that is the only way, in my opinion, that this defense can ever get to a point where it's top 10 elite.
I don't think people even understand, and maybe Aiden understands this because it's different for someone who's from this city in which he plays in. Aiden's from Michigan. He plays for the Detroit Lions. He went to Michigan, was a premier player at Michigan, and again, drafted to his hometown team in the Detroit Lions. But you know what's funny about this whole thing is you could even say a lot of what the Lions do this year, at least defensively, rides on Aiden.